Welcome today World of God channel. Today we are going to tell you a story about Adam and Eve. Stay tuned, let's begin. Life in the Garden of Eden. Genesis 2 verses 8 to 17. God planted a beautiful garden in Eden and placed Adam and Eve there to care for it. In the middle of the garden were two special trees. The tree of life. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God told them, "You may freely eat from every tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will surely die." Adam and Eve lived in peace with God who walked with them in the garden. The temptation and the fall. Genesis 3 verses 1 to 7. One day the serpent, Satan, came to Eve and asked, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve replied that they could eat from any tree except one, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The serpent deceived her, saying, "You will not surely die, your eyes will be opened and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve looked at the fruit. It was pleasing to the eye and desirable for gaining wisdom. She ate it and gave some to Adam, who also ate. At that moment their eyes were opened. They realized they were naked and sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. God confronts Adam and Eve. Genesis 3 verses 8 to 13. When they heard God walking in the garden, Adam and Eve hid. God called out, "Where are you?" Adam said, "I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God asked, "Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam blamed Eve. "The woman you gave me, she gave me some fruit." Eve said, "The serpent deceived me and I ate." God's judgment. Genesis 3 verses 14 to 19. God declared judgment. The serpent would crawl on its belly and be cursed above all animals. Enmity would exist between the serpent and the woman's offspring. A prophecy of Jesus defeating Satan. Eve would have pain in childbirth and her desire would be for her husband. Adam would have to work hard for food from the ground, which was now cursed. "For dust you are, and to dust you shall return." Banished from Eden. Genesis 3 verses 20 to 24. God made garments of animal skin for Adam and Eve, showing the first act of sacrifice for sin. Then he said they must not eat from the tree of life and live forever in sin. God drove them out of the Garden of Eden and placed cherubim, angels, with a flaming sword to guard the way to the tree of life. Life after Eden. Cain and Abel. Genesis 4 verses 1 to 16. Outside Eden, Adam and Eve had two sons, Cain and Abel. Abel offered God the best of his flock. Cain offered fruits from the ground. God accepted Abel's offering but not Cain's. Out of jealousy, Cain killed Abel, committing the first murder. God confronted Cain, cursed him, and sent him away as a wanderer.